Everyone, today we are going to be making spaghetti by hand. This was requested by Nat, so I'm going to show you guys how to make sauce by yourself, homemade sauce, rather than the kind that you use in a jar. It's actually not as hard as you would think, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is saute some garlic and olive oil. This, as you can tell, doesn't look like the garlic that you are used to. This is actually frozen cubed garlic. It's what I had, so it looks like this. And you needed 4 cloves, and so I used 4 cubes because 1 cube equals 1 garlic clove. So you can either use the kind that comes in the jar, you could use fresh garlic, which would be even more delicious, or you could use garlic powder, or even these cubes. So I'm going to saute this around for a little bit until these cubes get melty. So saute means to lightly cook. Normally you saute something until it's brown, but with this we just want to swirl it around until it gives off a nice garlicky smell. So, I wish you guys could smell it right now. We're going to put in the tomatoes, so you're going to go ahead and use a can opener to open this. And a can opener is something that it has a blade right here, and so if you need help using a knife, then you should probably have some help using a can opener as well, because they can be sharp, and then when the can lid comes off, it is also sharp. So definitely get help if you need some. Looks like I should have used a bigger pan. So as you can see, these are whole tomatoes that are all saucy that I'm using. You do not have to use the same tomatoes as I do. I'm using these ones because they're what I had on hand, but you can use fresh tomatoes, you can use chopped tomatoes, any kind of tomatoes that you like, you can use to make tomato sauce. But this kind's pretty good. If I'm going to recommend a tomato to use, I would say use the whole ones. So now that I've put my tomatoes in here, I'm going to let this sauce set for a bit until the tomato pieces have kind of mushed up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and add a little salt and pepper before I let it sit. Well, that's good on salt. And then I don't personally like black pepper, and so I like to use red pepper in mine, so crushed red pepper like this, because I think it makes it a little spicier, which I like. So I'm adding the red pepper. Oh, it's a little tricky to get out. There we go. Delicious. So I'll stir it all up. So as you're letting the sauce, I really should have used a bigger container. Word to the wise, use a bigger container than you think you're gonna need. So I'm gonna kind of let it sit on medium. So turn it to medium until the tomatoes are more mushy. There we go. Hello. Now that I have made a mess cleaning, the sauce looks like it's about done. This is about the texture that I want it to be, chunky like this, but if you want it to be smoother, you'll just let it cook a little longer and kind of do something like this, where you kind of crunch up the chunks that are in there. Next, I am going to add some fresh herbs and then start making my pasta. So I'm waiting for my pot of water to boil, and then I'm going to add my spaghetti in. Next, I am adding some fresh basil into my pasta. You can also use dried basil, but I have an herb garden, so I am using fresh. Next, I am going to add in some fresh oregano, also from my garden. Now that my water is beginning to boil, I'm going to go ahead and put in my spaghetti. One of my tricks is to split the spaghetti in half, the spaghetti noodles in half, so that they always fit in the pot. So my noodles are cooked, and I can tell that because they are very floppy like this. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes to cook them all the way, and I went ahead and drained the water off of them. So now it is ready to serve. It is all ready. So the sauce is already pretty healthy, but to make it healthier on this meatless Monday, I'm filming it on Monday, I added some vegetable noodles. So there's some carrot noodles and zucchini noodles in there, and then some mushrooms, and then we have some plant-based sausages. So that makes it a little healthier. I hope you guys all enjoy this and keep sending me recommendations.